Hi there. Welcome to the Road to Rich podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Rich, and this is a podcast where we talk about all things entrepreneurship, business, and life. And man, we're going to cover all that today, Karen. So, my guest today is none other than Karen Smith, the owner of Beachy Beach Real Estate, and you also run the My Happy Ass Life blog and social content and all that. You do a lot of different stuff. And genuinely, Karen, I can say that I'm pumped to talk to you again today because I love having conversations with you. And when I can sit down and have 30, 45-minute conversations with you, it's always awesome. Yeah. So you're one of my favorite people, and I'm happy to talk to you today.
You're one of my favorite people, too.
Thank you,
I love you so much. And you're one of those friends, and we talked about it before, that I can go a long time without seeing, but then when I see you, I just start right where I left off.
It's right where we picked up at.
And I know that you love me. So there's something about knowing that someone loves you that makes you just it's kind of reciprocates. So it's kind of cool. Love it. I'm so happy to be here. But I have to tell you, you're not supposed to be jealous of your friends. This studio is ridiculous. Y'all, if y'all have not been here, I was so proud of my little teeny little baby podcast studio. It's cute and adorable, but it's little. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Everett does that pretty good here. Yeah, no, we love it. It's a great space. So awesome. Well, we have great conversations here, and we're looking forward to picking your brain on some stuff today. So will you start by kind of telling me about, like, what does happy ass life mean to you?
Well, it's kind of funny because my happy ass life is not because I was just born happy, which I kind of sort of was, and life has not been perfect and just rosy. I've just learned to be a happy ass anyway. So when my husband passed away, but I've always been called happy ass. Britt started that. Britt called me happy ass. And when my husband passed away, and then COVID happened right away, I started going online and doing my daily affirmations, just daily, all during COVID, every single day.
Yeah, I remember.
And I called it my happy ass life. And it was just perfect. Now, a few people that I know they meant well, they couldn't understand why I wanted to be ass, happy ass, like it was something mean. I said, well, Jesus rode to Bethlehem on an ass. I mean, what's the problem? But but it was a place where I could share. It started out as an affirmation, then it ended up as a full-blown podcast and a blog and all the things. And don't tell anybody, but it's the favorite thing that I do.
Yeah.
Doing my happy ass life.
I can tell you love it.
Oh, I am in love with everything about it. Yeah.
And that's something that from doing the podcasting that I really enjoy the positivity out of talking to people and learning those things and hearing about great things going on in the world. There's not enough of that. And so I'm glad for what you do.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Do you think that what that's meant to you has changed over that course of time of you doing it? Has that evolved?
Oh, for sure. Because when I first started it, I just did it. I would get up now think about this, Aaron. I did it for 5 years. At first, it was every single day. And then I started doing it like just Monday through Friday. But every day I got up and at 7:45, I went live on Facebook and just shared whatever was on my heart, and then an affirmation. Yeah. And it kept me going because think about it. That was right after Hugh had passed away, and it was COVID, and we had lost friends and family, as you know, during COVID. Yeah. And I just wanted to share some joy with the world. And anytime you share light, you bring that light into yourself. So it ended up being very positive for me.
Have you learned about yourself in that process?
Yeah, I'm continuing. Now that I'm 66, I think as you get older, you give yourself permission to really learn about yourself. And I feel like I'm just tapping the surface. I feel like I'm just starting.
So if you take away the titles, the job, the possessions, who's Karen Smith?
Oh my gosh. I am a person who just, when I was little, always wanted to just make the world a happy place just by being kind and loving and sweet. I know that sounds so cliche and so beauty pageant, but I've always wanted to do that since a little bitty girl, and I'll tell you the story about when that started, though. I mean, I always felt it because I used to do I think, I don't know if you've heard me speak before, but I used to talk about when I was 6 years old, I'd be in the bathtub butt naked and Prel shampoo in my hair, and I would like do little hairdos and stuff, and I'd have all my little characters lined up by the tub, and I would give motivational speeches to my little characters.
The characters, nice.
Yeah, with my Prel shampoo and stuff, and thankfully as I've gotten older, I do keep my clothes on when I'm giving talks, so that's really good. But I just wanted to motivate and make people know they could do. I don't know where that came from at that young age. But when I was,
you must have always had it in you.
I did have it in me. And then when I was 10 or so, my dad was an alcoholic and really bad alcoholic. So I, learned to just spend a lot of time reading, studying biographies and things like that. So I read a book one time, I opened it up, and it was called The Majesty of Calmness. And I remember I was between 10, 11, 12, one of those. I had gone with my dad to visit another AA person that was sick. And that book said, if you want to have happiness, you will get it not because you seek to absorb it, but happiness will come to you in its brightest and best form if you seek to radiate it.
Yeah.
So I remember at that young age, I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to radiate it. So that's who I am.
And I swear to you, Karen, more than anybody I know, that is what I think out of you. Like I the love and the happiness.
Thank you.
For everybody in your life, even people that I've seen do you wrong, you still love them, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm called to do that.
I heard, something the other day that, love, and I know you're a person of faith and all that.
Yes.
Like, love isn't loving Jesus. Love is loving Judas, right?
Oh, 100%.
And that to me was a very powerful statement that I heard that, just really makes you think about when you can love your worst enemy.
Yeah. Well, my mom
that's how I feel you are.
Thank you. My mom used to worry about me when I was a little girl because I grew up in an alcoholic home, and back then that was so not the thing. And if it was the thing, nobody talked about it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I had kids that made fun of me. They'd say, your dad's a drunk. They would make fun of me and say unkind things to me and write me ugly notes in school. And I wasn't adorable as a kid. I'll just be honest. I was kind of not cute. And so they were not nice to me.
Kids are ruthless.
They were ruthless. They were not nice to me. But my mother, it broke her heart because I was nice to her. She felt like I let people take advantage of me. And it was just that I understood that when people were mean and unkind, something must be hurting deep inside of them. They were missing something.
Almost everybody in this world has things that are going on in their lives, and a lot of them just don't talk about it, and their way of treating others that way is really just them lashing out about their own personal struggles. I've learned that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there a piece of advice that you've given to other people that you secretly needed to hear yourself?
Oh, gosh, I'm working on this one. I still, this about me, I'm still tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser. So I am trying to get across to my family, to others that I talk, especially young people. Please, 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 if there's something inside of you that you feel called to do, that it's your thing, do it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what the world says, because guess what? Those people aren't doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they are not doing it, and just do what you're put here to do. And I've heard that, and I still struggle with that right now because, I'm trying to increase my happy ass life. I'm building that podcast. I'm building my speaking career, and I'm scared to death.
But I think
I'm doing it anyway.
That's part of being a leader is you there's a healthy part of it where you just have to learn not to care about what others think. If you're gonna be the conductor of the orchestra, you got to turn your back to the crowd, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's the truth of it, though. Like leaders have to look at it that way to where, yes, I'm leading, and this is what I'm doing, and you can't worry about the noise.
No, and you can't make everybody happy.
No,
because if you are, then you're like a chameleon and you're just jumping around from thing to thing.
You get to control your happiness.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at controlling my happiness.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really good at that. I mean, I get sad when people are mean, when people are not kind to each other. That breaks my heart. you
Yeah.
know. And I'm also get very sad when I see people that don't know how lovely they are and they don't
Yeah.
pull that out of themselves. So that's what I'm here for. That's who Karen Keesmith is. And,
Well, and I know you've gone through so much in your life and different things that you and I have talked about. Has there been a moment in your life that kind of broke you, but at the same time set you free in a way?
ooh, wow. Most of my broken moments have been around addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And no secret, my family is just riddled with addiction. Not me. I laugh. I said when I was younger, I said, "Listen, if the cat could have gotten to the liquor cabinet, the cat would have been in AA too." You know, because we just, so much addiction. Grandfather,
Yeah.
father, brothers, sons.
Yeah.
I mean, so much. And right now, all my loved ones are sober. This day, this moment.
That's great.
But I think that has been my biggest struggle, is trying to learn to find happiness and joy in that, especially as a mother.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who just look like they have it all together. Their kids have never been in trouble.
Yeah.
Their kids have not done, or so we
don't.
think,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not done anything. And, you know, and we equate sometimes our level of motherhood by how good our kids are acting and things like that. So that's been hard for me.
Yeah.
I've had to really ask God to help me because I've been embarrassed, you know, and so that's been a struggle.
Do you think that has put you in a place to where you're able to empathize with what other people are going through, though? Because I know
gosh,
I know some of those struggles that you've talked about, and has that put you in a place where now you can be more compassionate to others?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that about being compassionate to others, because I had this, you said, where I've learned, there was one thing in my life that I really didn't understand. I didn't understand depression, anxiety, and things like that. So really, to be honest with you, the old way I looked at that, because I was always pulling myself up by the bootstrap. Come on, buckle up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a happy ass. And I never understood people that were sad, depressed, any of that stuff. It's just not something I understood.
Yeah.
But when I had COVID, I got very anxious, very scared, very depressed. All that
Yeah.
stuff happened to me.
Yeah.
And that flipped it for me. It's hard to be compassionate about something that you've never
That you don't
experienced.
understand. Yeah.
You don't understand. Now, I can be somewhat compassionate and kind and loving because I know we all got different stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've got all kinds of things that I don't do well. But that gave me a new level of it. And yes, I really understand parents who have family members who are addicted. I understand husbands and wives. I definitely understand adultery because that's what happened to me and with my starter husband. So those things, Ed Millett says the very thing that you were ashamed of or you didn't do well is the very thing that you're able to help another human being with by being vulnerable.
Yeah, for sure.
So everything that's happened to me has happened so I can get here to this moment.
Yeah, and I think that's
everything.
it. You get built by those things that are hard, and
Yeah.
and I don't know if you've seen it, the conversation that Stephen Colbert and Anderson Cooper had.
Oh,
about
that
grief.
was,
But
I
these,
love that.
These awful things that happen to us in life, you have to be grateful for those things because they build you into the person that you are. You're able to help somebody else. You know, whether it's in business or life or something going on with your kids or whatever. You're equipped to handle it. You know, and I think God does that for a reason in our lives because we're built to be strong, and the difficulties make us strong.
Absolutely do. You know, there was a coach that was talking about don't wish for it not to be hard. Learn how to do hard better.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could remember her name. It's the coolest speech ever. You know, I'll give it to you afterwards when I remember it. But yeah, all those things. And you mentioned my faith. My faith is the thing. I don't know. Listen, my faith has been the thing that's carried me through everything.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is I think we tend to rely on our faith more in the bad times than the good times. So like sometimes I go, I got it. I got it, God, I got it. You know, but now that I'm trying to push past my limited beliefs about what I can accomplish with my podcast and my speaking and all those things like that.
Yeah.
I'm really having to dig into that because nothing particularly horrible is going on right now. I'm just trying to grow and become more the person God wants me to be.
Yeah, you just work at
I
it
feel
every
like I'm in my last quarter of my life. It's gonna be a long quarter, so don't worry. It's gonna be a long quarter because I think
I hope you go into overtime.
I am 100% going into overtime. I am doing everything in my power to take care of myself so that I can go into overtime because I love living. I just love this life.
Yeah, yeah, for
all of
sure.
it.
And I've had to learn about taking care of yourself too. I mean, I think that's part of it in business where, you have these things going on, and I think sometimes you forget about you,
Oh yeah.
right? And it's important that, you're taking care of yourself physically and mentally because the mental part of being a business owner and to do all the things that you're doing, it takes a toll on you.
It
But
does. It does. And it took a toll on me. And you know that 2.5 years ago, after COVID, and after I about went to that, about it, COVID about took me out, and I totally changed my way of being after that. I called a
yeah,
fitness coach, Jim Berg, and I just changed my life. I
yeah,
changed my life because I always talked on my Happy Ass Life about mind, body, and spirit. And
yeah,
guess what? I only had two of those.
yeah.
I didn't have the body
I've
part.
definitely seen that in you over the last couple of years where you really are focused on making sure that you're taking good care of yourself. And I'm
100%.
glad to see it because I know where you were at back in those days and I was real worried about you.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's, in the stress, and the people, I don't think people, especially my age, and the problem is you have to think about it when you're younger too.
yeah,
Because obviously I thought I was invincible. I'm in 40s, 50s, and you're staying up late, you're eating junk,
yeah,
you're telling everybody to take care of themselves. Well, you're not taking care of yourself.
yeah,
You're working overtime
all the
all the
time.
time. I mean, I used to get mad with people to take a lunch break. I thought, why are you taking a lunch break? We got work to do.
Yeah, we got stuff to
I
come
was
on.
I was horrible,
Yeah,
horrible. I mean, I hated it when the time changed
yeah,
because it kind of forced me to stop working early.
yeah,
I mean, I'm a completely different person now since my husband passed away. Actually,
yeah,
this started happening when when we got custody of the kids, but I've changed in a lot of ways, but I still have a lot. That's why I want God to let me stick around a lot because I got a lot to work on.
yeah. But I think
I'm a full-time
we're
job.
constantly works in progress, and what we are 10 years from now, I hope I'm not the same as what I am today,
Yeah, for sure.
So if you could look back 20 years and talk to yourself 20 years
Oh my
ago,
gosh.
what would you say to her?
Well, to be honest, one thing that I'm still working on right now that I'm not real good at, and we've talked about this before, I'm really not great with money. I'm really not real good about that. So I wish I'd been smarter when it comes to money. So I tell every young person, I go, listen, Linda, just put $100 back.
Mm-hmm.
$100, get in the habit of saving money
Mm-hmm.
before you need to save money. Just
Mm-hmm.
get in the habit of it right now, and then you can increase more and more. So I wish I'd done that. I wish I had cared less about what people thought of me.
Yeah.
That's still something I'm working on
Yeah.
because I think that holds us back. I think most of our energy is spent on worrying about what somebody else thinks
Yeah.
when they're not even thinking about you. They're
Yeah.
also at home worrying about what somebody else thinks. So those are some things I wish I'd done differently. I wish I'd started writing and putting it out there earlier. I was embarrassed. I'm
Yeah.
still scared. I'm still scared every time I put something out that I write.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, I'm glad you're taking those chances on that kind of stuff because it's
Yeah.
great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Thank
great,
you.
and I'm glad that you're bringing that stuff into the world. And I it is hard to think about the stuff that you should have known back then, but part of it is you didn't know it because you hadn't gone through the things that you went through.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so that's important things to me.
Mhm.
So when you think about your purpose, how do you keep focused on that every day of your life?
Oh, that is probably the easiest part to me.
Yeah.
Um, I hope I don't get choked up on this. And this is something that Hugh and I spoke about all the time when we were
Mhm.
married and together. I truly believe that I'm put here with a purpose, on purpose. And it's my job to really dive into that. And I believe that it's just creating value in the lives of others. And so in some days that looks different. So what I ask every day, first thing I do when I wake up, I mean, literally, my eyes pop open. I go, oh my God. I know. I'm pretty dramatic about it. I lay there and I go, oh my God, another day. I'm so thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, God, for giving me another day. And I go, where do you want me to serve? Where do you want me? Show me what I can do. Because I tell people all the time, if your goal is to get rich, or your goal is in the world's way, or if your goal is to be at a certain place, which I want to do all that too, that can change from day to day. But if you wake up that your purpose is to be kind and loving and of value to others, that's successful every day, because all you have to do is be kind and loving and create value in the lives of others by lifting someone up or something like that. And that is so easy to do, and it's so needed. So that's my purpose.
And it's a conscious decision that you get to make, treating somebody, you know, and when you're dealing with the day-to-days in and outs of running a business, how do you balance having that in your heart and making some of the business decisions that come with leadership?
Wow. I've been pretty fortunate that because of my attitude and my belief system, I've attracted like people unto me. So I'm surrounded by the most amazing group of humans you've ever met in your life. I sometimes start crying and get choked up thinking about the people that I work with and think about my assistant and what they mean to me. But I will tell you again, same thing, the money stuff. When you're running a business and money is free flowing, you don't really make those hard decisions. You should.
Yeah.
It's just like saving. You should make those decisions before it's like you need to dig your well before you get thirsty, right?
Yeah.
So that was during those times it's easy, but I find it difficult to say no to people. Like, I love giving to my community. Like, everybody that comes to me and asks for money, no matter who they are, I want to just say yes to everybody.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that and be a responsible business owner so that I can pay my people well, so they can have good benefits. I have to be intentional about what I say yes to and what I say no to. So that's hard for me.
Yeah, and I think the planning of that's a big part, because we kind of were operating the same sort of way, and then I got to the point where I was like, Shanna, we got to have a budget.
Yes. I just got one a few years ago.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so, like, the stuff like charitable contributions and stuff, like, we plan out what we're going to do for the year, and
me too.
We consider in the things that we think, and then we have a little bit of thing that's, if we need to do something particular. But really, I've had to get to the point where I plan those things out, and I intentionally make those. And a lot of being in business is just intentionality about your actions that way. And I've had to learn that.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah. You don't know it going in. I mean, I think some people do. Like, I'm so impressed with some people. Like, I have friends that are in business, and I look at them and go like, oh my, I mean, I'm in awe.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of them, in awe of how they operate, but this is the thing. We don't know what they're thinking inside.
Yeah.
And
they probably feel the same as we do.
Maybe so. But, I sometimes look at my life and just can hardly believe it. Yeah. I can just hardly believe that I went from being the girl who couldn't even put $5 worth of gas in her car, and I don't know. It's just it's just mind-boggling.
All the things that you're doing and touching on all the things that you do in your life. It's amazing.
It is a miracle.
The beauty of entrepreneurship is it goes these directions where you just can't even conceive that it's going to go in there. And like, if you'd have asked me 20 years ago what my life was going to look like, I could never imagine it being this. Right?
Oh, me either.
And that's the beauty of this, is like, success to me isn't this destination that I'm going to. Like, the dream is this. That's the everyday things that we're doing. And this is like what the dream is. So like, enjoy it. Like, the ride is the dream.
Well, you and I mean, you were starting this, I don't know, what year did you start?
2013 is when we started my marketing business.
2013. And I opened Beachy Beach up in 2010. And you and I, very early on, I started using your business for things and trusting you for websites and all the things and stuff like that. And you still are the only one that's allowed to touch the hut.
Yeah.
It's in my manual. It says that, and every now and then I'll see one of my agents start messing with the hut.
Don't mess with the hut.
I
Yeah.
don't mess with the hut, baby.
Yeah.
I call them up. I go, listen. I said,
I
I know.
understand the hut and
Yeah.
I get its feelings and yeah.
Yeah, you are the only one
Yeah.
in the world that's allowed to touch the hut.
Okay.
So I let people know, if you want a hut logo, I don't have a problem with that, but it has to be taken to Aaron Rich Marketing. Then I have to approve it. You pretty much know what I'm going to approve anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But so yeah, you and I go a long way back, and I've watched your business grow. You've watched my business grow, and it's been really. And we have birthdays that are like right together. We've done fundraisers together.
I love it. And watching you too, there's all these different things that you and I get to touch on. I mean, like there's our core business, but then there's these other things that we do.
Yeah.
So have you ever had anything that you built that you had to dismantle?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh, yes. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You know, and I think what happens to entrepreneurs, we want to always have a challenge in front of us. Like we get bored if it's like, oh, let's do this.
I've never figured out if it's boredom or if it's just that, like, I see this opportunity for this thing over here. I'm like, man, like somebody's got to do that. And I'm like, all right, I guess it's
Let's
me.
go. Let's go. I mean, my thing is go, set, ready. Yeah, not ready, set, go.
Right.
But so what I did was, because I'm good with people and because I'm loving, because I'm kind, that attracts some people to me. And also they know I've got a big heart. So what happened years ago when I had my Thomas Drive office, some guy, don't even remember the name of the company, thank God I don't, I wouldn't mention anyway, but it was a mortgage guy. And he convinced me, came from Georgia, he convinced me that I could also have a mortgage company in addition to my real estate company. And so he came to me and touted all that. Well, so I set up an office in my Thomas Drive office with this guy. We became partners, and I started, encouraging people to use this business. I did not know, and he did not tell me that he was an alcoholic who was still struggling. I didn't pick that up with all the alcoholics and drug addicts in my life, but I didn't. Well, he would disappear for like 10, 13 days at a time.
Oh, wow.
And I would have to, because I felt responsible.
Yeah.
I remember one time when some people lost like $6,000, $7,000 on a deal because of him not being where he was supposed to be. Well, you know me, I wrote the check.
Oh, wow.
Because I felt bad about it. But I had spent, I think I was in maybe $35,000, $40,000. And I realized you have made a big mistake.
Yeah.
You've made a really big mistake. You're just going to have to suck it up, buttercup, eat it, and go. I also attempted to be, and I definitely won't mention this stuff much, in a short-term rental business with some people. That did not work out well at all because I trusted people I shouldn't trust.
Yeah.
So that happens.
Do you think that those decisions to pull the plug on stuff like that, is it to you more that it doesn't align with your values, or is it a money thing, or both? Like
it didn't align with my values 100%. Because even if it,
like it's not going the way that you think it should go, and people are being treated.
And I had this still hard time about. See, don't have a problem with trust in that I don't trust people. I trust everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't hear that, y'all. Nobody try.
Listen,
because I have people in place to protect me now.
Yeah. As your friend, I've seen you get burned on things.
Oh, so many times.
And it makes me irritated to see you get burned on stuff.
A lot.
And so I can only imagine how you feel about it that way. But
can you think how
I'm sure
wealthy?
I'm only seeing a little bit.
If you think how wealthy I might be if I'd not been burned all the time, but that's a problem too. I've never had a high regard for money.
Yeah.
So when I don't want to lose money because I have a family to raise and take care of, but money has never, ever, ever been my motivator.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the problem with that is you do need to have sense of financial responsibility and things like that. I feel like God has just taken such good care of me in spite of me, but that doesn't relieve the responsibility for me to become a better steward of my money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
for
working
sure.
on that. Yeah, so always values. Always has to align with my values, 100%.
Well, and I know that that's important from what I've seen in you. Have you ever had a moment that has humbled you in business, and did that change the way that you are to your team as a result?
Humbled me. God, I feel humbled all the time. So I'm trying to think there's something out there that just really jumps out. Well, I'm humbled. I don't know if it's a specific moment, but I'm humbled a lot when I still allow certain people in my business to get to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's times when I should speak up and say, hey, this is not right.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of doing that, I just ignore it.
Do you think that brings
Yeah.
brings you back to your principles and really makes you lean on your principles of doing that? I say that, like, there's a course of during any business day where I have to make a decision on what I feel is right and wrong, and whether it's
All
right
the
for the
time.
client, right for us, or somewhere in between. And I have to constantly make moral decisions on how I want to be. Is it fair to my staff? Is it fair to me? Are we treating staff the same? Are we treating our clients the same? Like, I, as a business owner, that is not something that I thought about before starting a business.
Yeah, me either.
That I'm literally making those kind of decisions daily.
And you make it with the information you have at the time.
Yeah.
And with my company, because it's so big now, and I mean we're well over 100 people with agents and employees and stuff like that. So you got a lot of personalities. And so I have to really stop and think, am I letting my idiosyncrasies or the things that are within me respond to this? And I really need to learn how to respond better and be bolder with people. Because the thing in life is the very gifts I can be really calm under duress. And that's a gift. And I can be really chill when people are being jerks.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, but it also is a thing where I don't really confront a lot of things that I need to confront. So it can be a gift and it can be a curse. It's 66. I'm working on that still.
Well, it's always, and I think everybody's different as well. And the thing I've learned about having employees is that, when I have to talk to them about something difficult, the balance of being kind and also telling them the thing that I need them to do. And sometimes it's a correction of things that way. I have to be fair but not confrontational in those situations. And that is a tricky line to walk. And every single person has a different line that you got to learn. And so knowing your people, I think, is a key element of that.
I've got such sweet people. But
the
one thing that I have a hard time with besides that, God, I feel like I'm in therapy right now. So, so we're just forgetting that other people are listening to us.
Right?
I don't do well with people who are like, I really had never even been yelled at in my entire life until I married my starter husband.
Yeah.
No one had ever, even though I grew up in an alcoholic home, my daddy was very sweet. My mom was very kind. So no one ever raised their voice at me. I've never been spanked. I've never had nobody raise their voice at me until then.
Yeah.
So to this day, I don't do well with people who raise their voice, who are mean or angry. I don't handle that well at all.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes at me like that, I have a hard time with that. So I need to learn how to say, hey, listen, let's wait till you calm down and we'll talk about this another time.
Have you ever had a client that you had to deal with that was
Oh.
treating you or an employee that way?
Yeah. And because of my ability to stay calm, this is a fun story.
Yeah.
I had a guy, and this is why it's so important not to match people's moods.
Yeah.
If they, I love it. Like Michelle Obama said, if they go low, I go high. If they go, you don't match them. You don't do that. So I had a guy. It was in my old office. Remember the one that I had before I had this one on the Back Beach Road, and I told my husband. And he was so good about this. I said, Hugh, I'm the leader of this company, so it's very important that you do not come to my rescue. Do not, unless I ask you to, don't come to my rescue. I've got to be seen as a leader. I've got to be known as a leader. I can't have you rescuing me.
Yep.
And he respected that always. Well, a guy came in really mad. I'm talking just angry, mad at me because his property didn't appraise.
Yeah.
And he was yelling. I mean, yelling and screaming. I brought him into my office, sat him on my sofa. I just listened to him.
Yeah.
I just listened. And Lindy tells me the story. He says that he and Hugh were outside my office the whole time, just like
Ready to jump in
just
there.
like, come on, ready to jump in. By the time I finished with this guy, because I just let him say his piece,
Yeah.
and I finally said, "Sir," I said, "you do understand that I don't have any. There's nothing I can do about this."
Yeah.
I can only do what I can do, and I don't have any control of it. So by the time he left the office, the man and I were laughing with each other.
Yeah. That's great.
And my husband was going, shoo. But we've told that story a lot, and Lindy remembers that story. But yeah, things like that happen. But it's very important. And I'm not saying I've always been the best at this, but it is one of my gifts. I try to maintain calm and kindness and understanding. Now, if somebody talks really ugly to me, I usually will say to them, listen, until you can speak kind, let's talk at another time.
Yeah.
And I have fired customers before that were like unkind, like one was being very unkind to his wife and being very disrespectful. And I told him that I just wasn't the company for him.
Yeah. I feel like I will take abuse from anybody and it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But I will not stand for people abusing my staff. Like
No.
I've had customers that are
No.
disrespectful to my staff and I have a zero tolerance for that.
I agree.
I've fired many clients in the past for being disrespectful to them and calling up and yelling at them on the phone. I go, hey, you can't talk to my staff that way. You're going to need to find somebody else to support your business.
What?
Right.
I don't understand that. What does our business? There's nothing in mine or your business that would cause somebody to yell. I don't get it.
I think people just get emotionally flooded on things. And, I tell you a story about like I had a client call me in the evening one evening and he starts yelling at me and cussing at me because his website wasn't pulling up. Right. And I go, okay, well, just let me look at it and figure out what's going on with it. And so we did some testing and it loaded up everywhere I did. Well, about 30 minutes later, he calls me back and he goes, hey, I'm sorry, but my Wi-Fi at my house wasn't working, which is why I wasn't pulling up. Like it had nothing to do with us doing our job and all that. But I mean, he was cussing me up and down on the phone.
Yeah.
And then he called me back 30 minutes later and was very apologetic for how he treated me.
Oh,
and then a couple days later, I got a 5-star review.
Well, that's a good man, though. That's a good man that when you make a mistake, and then you admit it.
But I never got upset with him when he was. I mean, like you could yell at me all you want. I don't care, But if that had been one of my staff, I would have probably handled the situation different.
Yeah.
But I listened to what he had to say and said, okay, well, we'll look into it. I'll get back with you as soon as I can figure something out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you've always handled my stuff so well, and I guess I just don't get upset about that kind of stuff.
It's funny to me that business is emotional, but I try to take the emotion out of the decision making, and I'm very data driven and that sort of thing. Do you look at data, or do you look at things more as intuition?
I'm intuition all day long, and my daughter is more data.
Yeah,
and all that stuff, and I look at her like, wow, I don't, I truly, and people will ask me, they go, how do you make your decisions? I said, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it right here in my gut. I just,
so what's
I'm
one of the
intuitive.
last times you made an intuition decision, and how did it go?
Most of my intuition, if I follow my intuition, it goes really, really well.
Yeah.
Like just recently, in my happy ass life, because I'm increasing it, I've got a lot of sponsors. This morning, I got somebody else texting me and said, hey, how to become a sponsor of Happy Ass? I about freaked out, and I was afraid to ask. And Christy said to me, she said, all you've got to do is ask.
Yeah.
And it's what I would tell other people.
Yeah,
I would tell other people if you've got this fire inside of you, if you've got a story to be told, if you've got a mission in your heart that will make the world a sweeter place to be, You need to do it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing it. I mean, I was kind of doing it, but I finally just intuited that it's time to ask. It's time, stop waiting. I kept going, well, I need to have more time. My real estate company is full-time plus.
Yeah.
You know, kids are definitely full-time plus. But I also said in my heart, if not now, when?
Yeah.
You know, just do it.
A lot
Do
of it
it
is
the best you-
intentionality of dedicating
Yeah.
that time
Yeah.
too, you know?
I know.
And I think a lot of it feels like it's also for you because you need that part in your life to where that message that you're going to get out of you is important. And so I'm glad that you've made that intentional effort to do it. Was that a specific moment where you realized that that's what you need to do? Like maybe you didn't realize at the time, or
It's been in me a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm so busy trying to do what everybody else wants me to do, and I think with age comes this wonderful joy of realizing that a lot of the things you worried about you should never worry about, and they don't even come true anyway, and I hope I get this expression. Mark Twain says there's certain things you can only learn by swinging a cat by its tail, So I've learned some things along the way, and if not now, when? And I think you said that about the intuition. It's so much a part of my life. I don't even know how to separate it from me.
Yeah.
So, that's why I love marketing. I love marketing. I love being creative and doing zany and fun things with my company.
Yeah.
And that is more fun to me than actually the real estate.
Yeah.
To me, real estate is just a vehicle for me to do the things I do.
Yeah.
I'm good at that, but I'm not passionate about that part.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the vehicle that it provides me to do all the other things.
No, that's
that
great.
makes sense.
And
So I'm super intuitive and Philly kind of. I'm the kind of person that walks into a house.
But your creativity and what you do makes that business special too.
Thank you.
And it makes it different than some of the other stuff that's out there that way. And that uniqueness from a marketing standpoint with what I do, like it's beautiful to see like that personality of you echo through the business. And I use you as an example quite a bit
Thank you.
where, people letting people know who they are as a business.
Super
You
important.
do a fantastic job of that. And the business echoes your spirit that way. And I love that about Beachy Beach. I think it's a
Thank
great
you.
brand that you've
Thank
built.
you.
So, yeah.
Well, because I always tell people the brand is not the logo. It's not your message. I mean, it is, but it's deeper than that.
It's like a way of being.
It's
and it's like your people that you talked about. Like,
it's what they say about you when you walk out of the room.
Yeah.
It is your brand gets there long before you get there, and it stays long after you leave. So you better be very intentional about the message you create.
Yeah.
And because I didn't know what I was doing, I don't have any education for that. I was a special ed teacher.
Learn by trial and error.
Yeah, yeah.
Has there been something in business that you have thought earlier on, but now you completely disagree with your opinions that you had many years ago?
Yeah, one thing is specific to real estate. To be honest with you, I was kind of cocky for a few years about, I would say to people, we don't recruit at Beachy Beach. You have to come to us. We turn more people away every month than you had, and I was proud of that.
Yeah.
And so I got partners 2.5 years. Has it been 2.5 years? God, that's so hard to believe. 2.5 years ago. And they said, well, how do you recruit? I said, well, we don't. I mean, they just come to us. They're attracted to us.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you do know that's not a sustainable business model. And well, it's sustained me till now. So, you think the thing that you did then will get you to where you need to go later. And that's partly true, but you have to change and ebb and flow. So now I do believe that it's very important, but I don't call it recruiting. I'm looking for talent. I do not send mass emails out. We'll never do that to recruit people. I do not blindly recruit people. I see people. I don't even look at your stats. could care less. I care about your heart.
Yeah.
So if I see people that I think are talented, they're kind, they're loving, I like the way they treat other people, I feel like they could add value in the lives of others, then those are the kind of people I want at my company.
Yeah.
So I've really changed my attitude about recruiting. It's very important.
I've had to learn those same lessons.
And that's hard. It's still hard for me, but it's important because people are not going to stay with you forever. Most of my people do. Most of them have stayed, but people will leave for various reasons. And to be honest with you, I've also developed, excuse me, for the most part, that I feel like God puts in my path the very people I need when I need them. And he may take away those people when I don't, or when they need something different for their lives. So I try not to take it personal when people leave. And sometimes I do. There's some that I'm still butthurt that they left. I'll be honest with you. I still, when I see them, I go, why did they leave? So, because I love them, you know. But some people, they don't fit in our culture. And when they leave, I go, thank God, because I'm not good at firing people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and having folks that don't fit that, can a lot of times kind of poison the well for the folks that are there. I've learned that too. Hiring the wrong person can be way more impactful than just hiring one bad person, because it can kind of contaminate other people around them.
The energy is so important. So we have found in our company that we find out pretty quickly if you don't fit in.
Yeah.
So because we're pretty touchy-feely. Yeah. We're like sweetie, honey, sugar.
Yep.
We do a lot of hugging.
You don't like sweeties and hugs.
And you're at the wrong place. And if you don't like to volunteer, I tell people all the time, listen, do you like to volunteer?
Yeah.
And if they say no, I go, you may not be in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the business disappeared tomorrow, what would you want people to remember about the way that you lived and led that business?
Gosh, that choked me up. That I operated from a place of truly wanting to have a home or a place for people that wanted to become more of the people God wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Just to develop people. I want them to know, when I built that place, the building, Beachy Beach, I would walk around the building and I'd pray and I'd go, God, I just want that when people walk in this building, they feel this energy, they feel this sense of love and just energy. This is beautiful energy. But I don't want to stop there. I want them to take that energy out into the world. Yeah. So I hope that we've established a place and a movement of just wanting people to dig deep and be the best they can be. And in the meantime, loving people deeply along the way.
Yep. I definitely see that with your team.
I don't know what I said, but that's what I was feeling at the moment.
What's the greatest compliment that somebody can give to you about one of your staff?
Oh my gosh. And I get it all the time. They go, oh my gosh, we love working with the people at Beachy Beach. They're just different. They're kind. Mm-hmm. They're helpful. I always teach them, please be helpful to the agent on the other side, because they may or may not have had your level of training. Yeah. And try to stay unemotional. Not that they always do, because it gets to be a very emotional business. Mm-hmm. But that makes me very happy. I love it when they say that they love to, and I love it when vendors say that. I love it because, I love this thing is, we really can measure who we are in life by how we treat the least of these. Yeah. And those people who could do nothing for us. That is so important to me. So I love it when I get compliments about how kind and helpful and loving our people are in all situations.
We talk about customer service a ton at my company, and just about how we treat people and why that's so impactful. But if you treat people with kindness and you do what you say you're going to do, and you know what you're doing in your business, like, you're going to be successful in that side of it. And, the way that our town works, like, everybody knows everybody, right? So the way that I treat
love our
you
town.
And the way that I treat the guy at the checkout at the grocery and the way that I treat anybody, like, we're all connected together so tightly in this community. Like, really, like, you do that. And I also don't think that you ever know what people have going on in their lives.
No.
And sometimes a kind word is a place. I had somebody say something to me. I was going through something a month or so ago, and a client texted me, and he said something really nice to me, and it came out of the blue. But I swear to you, it came to me at a moment where I was like, man, I really needed that. You know, like
Yeah.
it came out of nowhere for him to give me such a compliment that he did, and I just was blown away. I was like, man, like I don't even think he understands how much I needed that today. You know,
Yeah, and that's so true. And I that happens to me all the time. And you asked me what was a compliment that I loved about my people, but I'm also going to tell you the thing that when people say this to me about me,
hmm
oh my gosh, just makes me so happy. I love it when someone comes up to me, and I think I'm easy to approach because I'm little. You know, when you're a little person,
yeah,
people don't, nobody's ever
they just want to
intimidated.
hug on you all the time
Nobody's
too.
ever, they like a little kid, you know. And that's why my students, when I was a teacher, felt real comfortable with me because I was their size, you know.
Yeah,
But I love it when somebody says to me, I love your energy.
yeah,
When somebody says, "Oh my gosh, I love your energy," they've not even really met me, or you know, because the energy is very important to me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's something that you work on and you make sure that's important and
yeah.
put out in the world.
You
So
can
when
see it from a million miles
oh,
away.
when somebody says that to me, I get so happy and so excited. I get even more energetic when they say that to me.
No, it's awesome.
Makes me
It's
happy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So I got one more question for you
Okay.
before we wrap up today.
Okay.
What's the best advice that you've ever heard or received?
Mm. Best advice I've ever heard or received. Well, I think it's you know stuff you read in the Bible. I think it's going to be what I've heard. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go back. It's being grateful.
hmm
It's just being grateful. You know, and silly story, super silly story, but I think about it a lot. When I was a little girl, I've always complained about my big thighs. The women understand this. Guys, y'all don't get it because y'all want big thighs. We don't want big thighs. We want cute little bitty
I
thighs.
got little chicken legs.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know what
want
you're
little
talking
bitty.
about.
We want little bitty thighs, right? I never had those. I was always a cheerleader. I was always athletic, so I didn't have those little skinny thighs. So I would say to my dad, I go, "Oh, I hate my thighs. I'm just so," and my dad would say to me, "Oh, honey, be thankful for those thighs. Thank God right now for those thighs that get you to where you're going. They make you strong. Just thank God for those." And I remember that as a little girl, and I've taken it all through my life, and I've always known that the best advice that I've ever heard or could give anybody, that the more I'm grateful for all the things, the more I have to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And I will absolutely 100% attract that which I focus on. If I focus on gratitude, I'm going to get more things to be grateful for. If I focus on what I don't have or what I don't like about the world, I'm going to get more of that. So to me, if we would all develop that one thing, the world would be just such a sweet, precious place.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this, I'm grateful for you.
I am so grateful for you.
I don't know how much you know it, but you've been an impression in my life. And the
Aw.
way that I try to lead my business, I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
And so I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you. It's
Every
been
time I
sweet.
talk to you, it's awesome.
Makes
you
me
know?
happy.
Yeah.
Makes
So
me more of a happy ass.
thanks for being a bright spot in my life. So
Thank you,
thanks.
Aaron. Appreciate it.
Well,
Thanks for
y'all-
having me.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Y'all, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Road to Rich. Please tune in again for wonderful conversations like Karen and I had today. We'll talk to you real soon.